So, hey y'all, how y'all doing today? This ever be spooky girl, and so I wanted to. One of my subscribers on another site had asked me to do a scary story for him. It's actually not spooky for me because I'm kind of used to this stuff, but they asked me to do a spooky story for them. So I'm gonna do this spooky story for him, and this is another site that I be on, and where I share my pictures of my orbs and UFOs and stars and little things like that. And so a lot of times they'll ask me stuff, questions and all of that. Um, I don't know if a lot of you know or probably didn't know that I'm spiritual, not religious. There's a difference. And you know, you're probably kind of confused by that, the way you see me troll and go back and forth. So before I do this little ghost story for one of my followers or whatnot, um, I kind of want to explain a little bit something. Okay, so I don't get up under posts and comments and stuff to start trouble. I just be trying to interact with people, and so if I see a post that I really don't like, or my opinion or something is not going to be nice, I pass it up. I don't get on it at all, you know. Um, so when I do interact with a post, it's most posts that I agree with, you know, unless I make a mistake and misunderstand the post. So I really don't be looking, to start nothing. I just want to clear that up. You get what I'm saying? Um, So when I see posts that I don't like or it's going against my grain or something, you know what I'm saying? I don't even interact with it. I just scroll right past it. I don't want to be on here arguing with people or none of that. I'm not, I don't want to do that. And so, you know, I, I do a lot of stuff on different little social medias, and a lot of my stuff, my content is paranormal. It's orbs and talking about all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, but so some people will, you know me from that, the orbs and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so, my orbs that I do is connected, it's a spiritual thing, so um, you know, people might be a little confused when you see me going back and forth with somebody. So I just wanted to kind of straighten that out. I don't come on here to pick fights and argue with nobody. I post my content, some people may not like it, Twitter, X, it's a controversial type site as far as I'm concerned. So it'd be a whole lot of stuff on there people don't like. You get what I'm saying? I mean, it just keeps the rhythm going or whatnot. Um, and I post my stuff, and I don't, I just post my stuff, and I be trolling sometime, but I don't be specifically, you know what I'm saying? I don't go under nobody's post to specifically mess with them. You know what I'm saying? If I don't like the post or I don't agree with it, I just keep going. I don't post, comment to start an argument, So most of the arguments that you guys see me in, somebody done started with me. I'm not here for that. Okay? But just because I know God and I love God, and I have since I was a little girl, you know, and I'm a spiritual person, doesn't mean that I'm weak. You get what I'm saying? I don't like to go back and forth and argue with people. You get what I'm saying? But I will defend myself, and I still love God. So I'm not a Bible pusher or none of that. I don't do religion or religious beliefs. My spirituality is simply, um, you know, me getting ready and preparing, for beyond earth, life. That's what spirituality, spiritual awakening mean to me. So I kind of explained it in that last video. This video ain't really about that. So it's not religious. You know what I'm saying? It's just spiritual awakening is something that you need. It brings you closer to the source. And it prepares you for when you know, for your spiritual journey. That's not going to have a physical body, if that makes any sense. You know, and a lot of people don't believe in that, and that's okay. You get what I'm saying? When I post my orbs and UFOs and different stuff like that, I get not so nice comments sometimes. I get nice comments sometimes. I don't. It's social media. That's going to happen. We out here on the public, a public site or whatever. And so I don't go back and forth with people. You know what I'm saying? I don't try to force people nothing. You know what I'm saying? When I say my orbs, I took several pictures of the orbs. Sometimes you don't see nothing in them. Sometimes you do. You know what I'm saying? I've seen images in them and everything. But I've seen enough stuff, besides the orbs. You get what I'm saying? Because apparently, you know what I'm saying? I was born with some kind of something where I can see things that other people can't, you know. And so even besides the orb, I see spirits, I see stuff. It doesn't bother me, and I've gotten used to it, at my age now, but and I'm protected by God. So I don't fear none of that, you know. But yeah. So, I just wanted to say, so spiritual don't mean, fearful and scared. You get what I'm saying? I'm still going to defend myself. But I don't, hop up under posts, what I'm saying, that I'm not comfortable with. If I'm commenting on your post, that means I'm trying to interact with you. You get what I'm saying? And if I notice people don't, after a while, a couple of days or whatever, it don't have to be right away. But if I notice I ain't getting a reaction, I just stop even interacting with them, because, that lets me know they're not trying to interact with me. And that's okay. I don't try to push my orb beliefs or, none of that on anybody. You get what I'm saying? Like, people see the orbs, they have different opinions about them and stuff. And I just let that be. I'm not fixing to go back and forth and have no argument with nobody about that. You get what I'm saying? Because this is part of my journey. You know what I'm saying? It's not part of everybody's journey. I'm sure it's part of some other people besides me, but it's not part of everybody's journey. You get what I'm saying? So it's hard, you try to explain that to people. So I just, unless they ask and they inquire, that's the only time I try to explain that orb stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I've been seeing them pretty much since they was little. Since I was little. They don't cause me problems or anything. I just see them, and that is part of my journey for me to see things that other people don't. So, I just wanted to say that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that type of person. I'm really not. You know what I'm saying? But if you just don't poke the bear. You get what I'm saying? Because right. So, it'd be a whole lot of posts that be circulating, I don't agree with it. You know what I'm saying? I don't bother it. You know what I'm saying? I don't go up under that post and say nothing. And, a lot of times I just remove it, from my stream or whatever, or whatnot. You get what I'm saying? Not interested in this. You get what I'm saying? So it can stop, circulating, over by me, So, yeah, you get what I'm saying? I don't, it ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because I defend myself, you know what I'm saying? Like, people, if you don't like my post and my and my content, you know what I'm saying? That's okay. You get what I'm saying? I ain't mad at you. We ain't got to get into it about it. You know what I'm saying? But that's mostly what if y'all see me going back and forth, it's because somebody didn't like my post. It's never because I started an argument with somebody because I didn't like their post. It's never that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not going up under a post to reply or comment anything. If I don't like, I'm not okay with the post. I'm just gonna leave it alone. So when y'all be seeing me going back and forth and trolling or whatever I'm doing, somebody done started with me. Somebody didn't like my post. That's my content. You know, when Twitter got a problem with it, they remove it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they do. You get what I'm saying? But if they ain't saying nothing to me about it, and I try to keep it keep it cute, you know what I'm saying, for what it's worth, you know what I'm saying? But that those are my posts. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to jump up under them and say anything if you don't like them. You could just keep on scrolling because I'm going to defend myself. You know? So let me tell this scary story that my subscriber wanted me to tell. This little scary story. I'm gonna tell this story. So I had a neighbor. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, and he's a guy. He's my best friend. My best friend. We end up living in the same area. So he lived across the street from me, but he was my best friend. He wasn't my boyfriend or nothing. Just my best friend was a boy, was a guy. And he had a brother, and we gonna call him Frank. And it was my best friend's older brother. He was sick. He had found out he had lung cancer. And so he didn't, he didn't want to go in hospice. It was pretty bad when they found out. And so he moved in across the street with my best friend. That's his older brother. So we want to say my best friend's like in his 40s and stuff. That was his older brother. He might have been in his early to mid 50s. He wasn't really old, but and so me and my best friend would sit on the porch in the summertime, his porch or my porch. I was right across the street from him. And we might drink, some coolers or something like that, and things like that. So I was sitting with him one night, and I decided to go back across the street. Now, mind you, although his brother was sick, he was sick with the cancer, he would get up and answer that door, sometimes when I would come over there. And he would always, I guess he was going back and forth in the hospital so much, you know what I'm saying? When they sick like that, they go back and forth a lot. That he just kept some of the pajamas they gave him. So he always would have on these striped pajamas and a little coffee mug in his hand, a little small coffee mug in his hand. And, he'd answer the door like that. So I was sitting over there on the porch. I think me and my neighbor was sitting out there. We might have been drinking some Bartleman James coolers. And so maybe like 9 or 10, I decided that I'm going to go back across the street. I'm going on in. So I go in, take a shower, fix me a sandwich or something, and I go to sleep. I want to say about 2 a.m. or something, I get up, go to the bathroom, and I decide, let me see what's on Netflix. Now it's 2 o'clock in the morning. So I put on Netflix around 2 something in the morning and walk right past my TV screen. You know how you watch your TV and somebody getting in the way or something? Like you know what I'm saying, in front of the TV or somebody standing there or one of the kids or something. And you be like, get out the way or something like that. Well, he came straight, he walked straight, and he was walking, but he was floating at the same time. So like his motion was like he was walking, but he wasn't stepping on the floor. It was a float walk. If that make any sense, or a glad walk. And he had them pajamas on that he would always have on when I would go over and answer the door. And he had that little mug in his hand. And so, by the time he got halfway through the living room, because I had a very large living room. This was a different house. By the time he got halfway through that living room, he was gone. you know. So we want to kind of say he floated, but it looked like he was walking, but you know. And it looked like to me a hologram. You get what I'm saying? It kind of looked like it looked like a hologram. You know, it was him, but he wasn't physical and material. You get what I'm saying? And he looked it like he did when I would see him across the street all the time. So this story, one of my followers wanted me to tell. So um I I'm so used to seeing things like that by now. You get what I'm saying? I'm used to it. So I just, you know, shrugged my shoulders and went on and finished watching my movie. Well, so the next day, I want to say probably around noon or something, an afternoon. Um, I went across the street and you know, at my best friend's house to see how the brother was doing. Because at that time I didn't, I didn't really realize, that he was dead. You get what I'm saying? When I saw him, you get what I'm saying? Because sometimes I get like premonitions, like I'm psychic and stuff. So sometimes I'll get sightings and visions and stuff, of people that's still alive. It's just telling me something that's probably gonna happen to them or something like that. So yeah. So anyway, um, so I asked my best friend, how's your brother doing? That used to be my first thing anyway, because the brother was living there. He was so sick. And so my best friend said, well, he died. He passed away. He said, you ain't hear the ambulance and all that stuff out here? And I said, no. Well, he said, well, a little bit after you went back across the street, he said he had to rush him into the hospital. And he was going to the hospital a lot at this time. You get what I'm saying? Because it was getting closer to him passing. And so he said a little bit after I left, remember I went back across the street around 9, 10, something like that. Well, he said he had to, a little bit after that, he had to rush him to the hospital. And they wanted to keep him, you know. You know. And so try to drain some fluid off of him or something, because with that lung cancer, they collect fluid or something, you know. Um, and I can't really explain it, but yeah, I've seen a few people die with that, and the lungs ain't working correctly because the cancer is in it, so your fluid it's everywhere else in your body, and it's got to be drained off or stuff. Like I've seen that up close. Like I know a few people that's done it. Yeah, that's why I quit smoking cigarettes years ago. That scared the daylights out of me. But anyway, so he said, yeah, you didn't hear all the lights in the ambulance. I said, no, if I heard it, I would have went to the hospital with you or whatnot. So anyway, they kept him. And then he said he got home, he couldn't sleep. He was just pacing the floor, because he was worried. So he couldn't sleep. And they said around 2 a.m., around 2 something, you know what I'm saying? He said they called and he thought they was going to tell him, because they would drain um, the fluids and stuff, and then send him back home. You get what I'm saying? Because he didn't want to go in hospice. Hospice, I guess, would do all that stuff, and my friend was kind of, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So, anyway, he wasn't really, I don't know, he didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? So, he would have to go in the hospital and get that fluid drained. And so, my friend said he was just up waiting, he was kind of worried, but he was waiting for them to call him to come back and get him. And they, he said he hadn't even went to sleep. He was just pacing around the house, just trying to keep busy, waiting on the call. When they called him about 2 something and said the brother had passed. So, that's the spooky story. You know what I'm saying? I did not tell my best friend, my neighbor. I didn't, that's still my best friend. I did not tell him about that, because a lot of people is not receptive to that, this kind of stuff, this paranormal kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so, and I didn't want to freak him out. He just lost his brother. So, what I'm saying? I just left it alone. Now, the orbs are always around me everywhere. You get what I'm saying? So I'm guessing that, it's my frequency or something that's attracting them. They don't harm me. They don't move my furniture. They don't do none of that. You get what I'm saying? And make noises or nothing like that. You barely even know they here. And yes, I can see them sometime with my bare eyes. I record them through the camera so that you can see them. You get what I'm saying? But I can move the camera and still see them. You can't. If you're looking at the orbs through a camera and you slide the camera to the side and try to look, it's nothing going to be there. I can still see them, Others can't. So it's got something to do with frequency or something. You know what I'm saying? Like how we vibrate, So I'm not, a mean, nasty person, But if somebody swing on me, I swing back. You get what I'm saying? That's it, But yeah, I just on here trying to interact with people. I don't go under posts that I don't agree with. I just don't go under there. I don't want to argue with nobody. I don't, about their post or none of that. When y'all see me going back and forth, it's because somebody didn't like my post. And I understand that people ain't going to like it. You know what I'm saying? I don't, you know what I'm saying? I get that, but, so now we got it back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Personally, if I don't like a post, I don't bother with it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to argue with the creator or nothing like that. The one who created the post and stuff. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I just keep on going. But some people want to stop and, and say something. And that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Okay. You get what I'm saying? Like, we can do that. So, you never see me, when you see me going back and forth with somebody, I'm defending myself. I'm not on here for that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that. I don't like that type of energy. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not here for that. That when you see me going back and forth, and I'm going to post my content. I troll, I post my content, and people don't like it. So what? You know what I'm saying? Like Candace said, get a helmet. Life is tough. You get what I'm saying? You ain't going to like everything. People say bad things about, my orbs and stuff like that. Call them dust and stuff. You get what I'm saying? I'm not arguing back and forth with nobody. You know what? When I see a comment like that, I say, thank you. Thank you for taking the time to look at my photos, and thank you for just taking the time to reply. I thank them. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm not fixing to go back and forth. So see, we got people today, you know what I'm saying, that think they can say and do anything, with everybody, but you can't, we can't return that same energy. You get what I'm saying? I'm not having that. You know what I'm saying? If somebody swing on me, I'm going to swing back. And that's that on that. Whenever you see somebody and me into it with somebody, it's because somebody didn't like one of my posts. It's entertainment. I see a lot worse posts on here than mine. You get what I'm saying? You ain't never seen me in no argument, and you will never see it. Because that's not how I move. I don't get down like that. You never see me in an argument because I see a post I don't like, and I want to call somebody on it. You ain't going to never see that. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm not finna waste my time on that. I just scroll right past it. I don't care. I don't know these people. That's them. So when you want to stop under my post, which I understand I'm going to get some negative comments about some stuff. You get what I'm saying? I already know that. You get what I'm saying? So I don't have no problem with it. But, just to let y'all know, people don't like my content. That be them jumping up under my stuff. If you ever seen me trolling or going back and forth with somebody, it's because somebody said something to me. And I just, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just defending myself. And that's because I don't go under posts, that I don't like. You get what I'm saying? When I'm commenting under a post, I'm trying to interact with somebody, not argue. I'm trying to interact. And if I do that for 2 or 3 days, and I see that they still posting and you know commenting and talking to everybody else, and they ain't um you know you know responded back to me on nothing. If I'm playing some of the games and stuff, for 2 or 3 days, and that, they, a lot of them, a lot of y'all have little games on there. I'll jump on to play the games. What's your favorite movie? Name this, name that. And if I doing that with somebody for 2 or 3 days, and they don't, you know, respond, like, if they're asking you a question or something, did I get it right? Did I get it wrong? You know what I'm saying? Or nothing. Then I understand they don't want to interact with me. I don't get mad. I just, you know what I'm saying? I remove them from my timeline and move on. You get what I'm saying? It's okay. People gonna have different opinions. You can't be out here, in this world, you know what I'm saying, that fragile. It's just not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Because the world, this is a scary place. And they're, people just voicing their opinions, using their free speech. You know what I'm saying? A little entertainment or whatnot. If that's driving you crazy like that, then, I don't know what to tell you. You're not going to make it. You get what I'm saying? You can't live like that. You cannot live that way. You know what I'm saying? Fragile like that. Unless you stay in the house, in the cellar somewhere. You get what I'm saying? Like, life just don't work like that. You get what I'm saying? You get to say all this bad stuff and this and that. You know what I'm saying? Can't nobody say nothing bad. You know what I'm saying? No. If you swing on me, I'm going to swing back. That's all to it. Yeah, I'm spiritual. Yeah. I know God, I love God. And if you swing on me, I'm going to swing back. Okay? I'm not here for that. And again, spiritual don't mean weak and pushover. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I ain't perfect. You know what I'm saying? I go off the track sometime. You get what I'm saying? But, it is what it is. But again, you know what I'm saying? When y'all see me, that because somebody got up under my stuff. You get what I'm saying? I will never go up under nobody's post and pick a fight. Unless I misunderstood, or they misunderstood me or something. You get what I'm saying? Because any post I comment under is relating to me and what I feel. You get what I'm saying? And I'm trying to interact with the person. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to argue. So, yeah. So that was my scary story. And I wanted to share that. And yeah, just wanted to introduce myself again. So this is Ever B, Spooky Girl over there on YouTube. And yeah, so that's all I wanted to say. You guys have a happy rest of your week. And this is Ever B out.